Welcome back, everybody, to another C Squared podcast episode. Here we are after a long time coming. We've both been on the road. We've both been to St. Louis. Fabiano, you played the American Cup as well as the American Cup Blitz, and many other things have happened in between the last episode and this one. So why don't we start with the American Cup? And first of all, what's up? How's it going? Anything new? And any new things in Fabiano world?
No, nothing super new. The American Cup ended a bit ago. Before that, we did our experimental episode, which some people liked, probably more disliked. Not sure, but
I would say
anyway,
the reviews were not great.
It was just for fun. I mean, obviously, it's kind of a silly format, but okay. It's just for fun. But yeah, after that, we played the American Cup, which I got second place. Hikaru Nakamura won in the final, which overall I felt disappointed about because I thought my level of play in classical was not very good. But the result, can't say it's bad or anything. I mean, second place, it's normally, you'd say, a pretty reasonable result, okay, in a tough knockout format. But just because of the way I got there, didn't feel very satisfying. But yeah, besides that, then we played the American Cup Blitz, which is also sort of a fun event. I didn't manage to win. I lost this crucial penultimate game against Levon, which killed my hopes. If I had drawn that game, I think still some hope. If I had won, then I would be in first place before the final round. And then I won in the last round against Wesley, which actually gained me a bit of rating overall in Blitz, so I can't say it was a bad tournament. And I shared third place with Sam Savian. Hikaru won the Blitz. He had a close shave in the last round against Mihail Antipov.
Very close shave. A great event. Very close shave.
Actually, funny trivia for people. And Mihail was the coach for the United States Olympic team last year. The Olympic team comprised of myself, of Wesley, Levon, Lanier, and Ray. And in the American Cup Blitz, first Misha played Lanier, then he played Levon, then he played Wesley, then he played me, then he played Ray. And then for good measure, he also played Hikaru, who, although he wasn't on the last Olympic team, of course, has been on the Olympic team countless times. So that was a bit funny to see him go through the entire American Olympic team, and then some. So yeah, that was a fun event. I can't say I'm thrilled, of course, not to win it, but
I would say you fell short of defending the title, and in fact, you've been the only title holder at the American Cup Blitz. I think 3 editions, and you won all 3 of them before this one.
Yeah.
This last one.
Yeah, it's a bit sad. 3 years I've had this title.
It is, isn't it?
No, I mean, it's not a major title, of course, the American Cup Blitz. It's sort of a fun final day. This year it was a bit smaller because usually, like in past years, there would be some players who would come from outside of Missouri. For example, last year there was Daniel Naroditsky. Trying to think of who else came from out of town, but there were definitely some strong grandmasters that came from out of town. And this year it was just the American Cup players plus some other St. Louis and Missouri residents, so Columbia, as you know, people from Murray University, people from St. Louis University, from Webster, and so on. They came, and then the American Cup players. So it was still super strong. I would even argue maybe stronger because it was such a small tournament. So basically, from the second round, I was playing grandmasters.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a tough one. And I think it was 60 players, something along those lines. We were expecting a bit more, but obviously once they made it only local, it was a bit more difficult. So we had players from 3 big universities, Mizzou, SLU, and Webster, and all of them competing against players from the American Cup and some players that are local and decided to play it. Very strong event. Obviously, there was some controversy surrounding it, as with pretty much any. To be honest, moving forward, it seems like every single St. Louis tournament will have some controversy as long as Hans is not invited. That's obviously not going to be the case. That's not going to be the case for the US Championship. Of course, we talked about it, and so that everybody
I
kind
think
of
that
knows.
Having Hans in a tournament makes it super interesting.
It does, but this is the situation right now.
I'm interested in playing against him in general, as he is now legitimately top 15 in the world player. I think this is pretty established. I mean, of course, it's never established because people go up and down, right? It's definitely one of those things. But okay, with private tournaments, they also have the organizers kind of have some say in who gets invited. So
no, absolutely.
That's a different question.
And I'm sure if things sort of iron themselves out, or both parties they put some effort into remediating the matter, I'm sure we will see Hans at the club back. But again, the effort has to be mutual, more or less.